month, we have Mindy Rose, and she is going to be our speaker today. Mindy, I just want to make sure you're on. You good? I am here. Awesome. I'm so happy that she has agreed to get on this call for us today. Mindy Rose is from Saratoga Springs, Utah. She actually was born and raised, well, I don't know if she was born, but she lives in Idaho Falls, so same town as me, but we didn't know each other growing up. Kind of met through a mutual friend, and she joined my business and was my first diamond coach, my first star diamond coach. She's done incredible things in this business. She is a 3-star combined coach, 2-star in her first business, and 1-star as she's built up her husband's account. And she has just done amazing things in this business. I'm not going to steal away her story. Mindy, I want you to kind of get on and share with us what motivated you to be a coach and just kind of what your life was like before Beachbody, what motivated you to get started.
Yeah, I was actually born in Idaho Falls, and I lived there basically up until we got married and moved to Vegas. So, and that kind of leads up to my life before coaching. Just kind of growing up felt like I was a nobody. I kind of looked around and just felt like a tiny little fish in this big pond of other beautiful, talented, successful people. And not growing up with that belief, I really never took chances in life. So I would quit and quit and quit over and over and over. And after I got married, we had 3 kids in 4 years, and it just was kind of like the last straw. I didn't know who I was before, but throwing myself into taking care of my children, which I love more than anything, obviously, I just really continued to lose who I was and lose my identity. And so we were looking for something that would help us just feel better. Chris and I were both at the same page. We both wanted more out of life. We both wanted to feel better, lose some weight. And I found Brigida at that point on Facebook and started stalking her. And Chris was researching superfoods online, and he found Shakeology. We combined the two, and we're like, let's do it. I said no a couple of times, and then I remember seeing Brigida share transformation, and I was just like, that's it. Like, I don't want to wait any longer for my transformation. Let's do it. So we signed us in and just really went all in at that point. I wanted more. I knew that there was more out there to life, and I was sick of feeling sick and tired. Like, it was just to that point where the pain outweighed the pain of staying the same has outweighed the pain of change at that point, and we were ready. And that's when I signed up.
I love that. Well, and I'm so glad you did. I'll never forget. They were living down in Vegas at the time, traveling through Idaho, and we had never met before. And she's like, can I come by your house? And her and Chris came over and sat at our kitchen table, and I think we talked for a couple hours that night.
Yes.
Talking about Beachbody, and it was just exciting. And I mean, Mindy was one of my first business builders, so it's so exciting for me to see you grow your business. But every coach always has an aha moment, like a moment in their business where things kind of take off. Do you have something like that for you?
I do, and I kind of have a few. I feel like my journey as a coach has totally been a roller coaster. I've had really big moments where everything was just on fire, and then I've had something that kind of knocked me down a little bit, and I really got to dig deep at those times and decide, am I still in this for the long run, or am I going to, stay knocked down? I know my first big aha moment that I really wanted to quit at that time it was pretty early on, but we had a call, and I remember I was just pouring out my heart to you, and I'm like, I can't do this. And I kind of had an out-of-body experience at that time, though. After we got off, I was able to hear myself and the way I was speaking to you, and I was like, oh my gosh, I sounded so pathetic. I was just making excuses over and over and over, and I'm like, do I really sound like that? And I'm like that, and I think you had kind of said something that woke me up during that call, and it was, if you can't talk like this and expect to have your life move forward and expect to grow when you're speaking that way. And so it was a big moment to me where I was like, I am sitting here like I'm doing the things, but I'm not taking it in. Like I would read for 10 minutes and I wouldn't apply anything. And I expected like by just doing a little tiny bit here and there that it should just keep moving forward, or I should just like miraculously start changing. And that's when I realized that this wasn't just about doing the vital behaviors to have success. Like to me, this was about really changing my life and wanting to have that positive life and want to be someone that was so resilient to things that would come and get in the way. And so at that moment, I took it in as these vital behaviors were for me. And the personal development was for me to grow, as a mom and with life, not just to have success in my business. And all of it was for me to keep growing and to really share that with people and not just look at them as a successful point and to really make this personal. So in that moment, I decided to go all in and really just change everything to be resilient. And then a couple others was obviously my first summit. It was incredible. Like that energy there is unlike anything else. I really caught the full vision of what we are doing in the world, and that lights a fire like no other. To realize on a bigger scale what we're doing. And then another one was after having Camden. I came back and I realized that the time I took off to go through that, I really missed coaching so much. And I wanted that in my life. And I knew that I could put blinders on enough to not let things overwhelm me, but to really push forward again, like, so I can keep growing and that I can keep serving my mission. I really, truly miss the daily things that sometimes we let them overwhelm you, but when you look at it differently, they really are like life reserves for me. And I wanted that back. So
I love that, Mindy. So tell us, you have had quite the journey, and I know you've had a lot of obstacles come your way and, trials and experiences where you've had to really push through. And I know that's what your topic is about today, on how to really let these obstacles empower you. So I'm going to let you just jump into that and kind of share with us your tips for doing so.
Okay, thank you. So when I hit my first obstacle, it was actually soon after I went diamond. I went diamond and I thought that was it. And it was going to be a smooth sailing ride after that. And it was completely the opposite. So I learned a few things about myself doing that. I learned that I not only wanted it all right then, I wanted to see like immediate results. I thought, okay, I've been doing things for like 2 weeks consistently. Like, come on, where is like the immediate results from this? And I thought that like because I've been doing it long enough, or I had these successes right away, that it should get easier. It really truly, I learned that it's the opposite in life. That success is determined not by whether or not you face obstacles, but by your reaction to them, the way you handle them. And so I learned that if you look at these obstacles as like a containing fence, they become your excuse for failure. But if you change your perspective and you look at them as instead like a hurdle, like if you're running a race and you have to jump over the hurdle, each time you jump over one, it strengthens you for the next one that you're going to have. Believing in yourself. One of my favorite quotes of all time is, believe in yourself in all that you are. Know that there is something inside of you that is greater than any obstacle. Because the pain that you are going to go through, I think sometimes we think that we just went through something hard. Like maybe we should just get a break for a while. And it's a mindset, it's a perspective. We are going to go through pain in life, and not just once, but we're going to go through it over and over and over. So learning to embrace the pain. There's a motivational video I listen to every time I work out, and I love it. And she's like, "Pain, I love you," and she like is yelling it, and it's like, I think she's like a boxer, and I love that, because when I'm doing max 30, I'm like, "Pain, I love you," like I'm crying, like I want to give up, I want to punch Shanti in the face. But pain is such a good thing. It's the thing that really makes you dig deep and decide, what do you really want? Do you want it more than what you're going through right now? Do you want to like lay over and get beat up? Or do you want to get up and fight for your dreams and fight for the life that you want to have? So you're going to go through pain. But even regardless, like that pain can be so intense. It is nothing compared to the joy that is coming for you on the other side of whatever you're going through. Those experiences are getting you prepared for something so amazing that you just got to hang in there. You've got to dig a little bit deeper and really grasp onto what it is you ultimately want. Do you want to lay over and kind of, I mean, not to be rude, but do you want to lay over and play victim? Because I've done that many times. Or do you want to fight? Do you want to get up and like really let this experience refine you into the person that is going to be able to keep doing more and more and more in this life? Like you never want to be stood still in where you are as a coach. Like if you reach diamond, that's not where you stay put. You keep going and you keep going, and there are more people. Like I was talking to a coach the other day. I'm like, we've only tapped into like the USA and Canada. Like there's millions of people out there still waiting for this opportunity to get spread even more. So continue to grow in who you are, not only as a coach, but in every aspect of life. So over time, I learned to embrace the pain. I learned to make it my friend. I learned to let it fire me up. And if I had to, I got out the boxing gloves and I would like go work out really hard, punch some stuff, whatever you have to do, but embrace the obstacles that are going to come in your life because they are there to prepare you. I learned that they're there to strengthen you, to become who I needed to be to fulfill my mission. We all have a mission. And as I learned what mine was, because it took me a long time to really kind of get my niche and figure out what my mission was. But once I learned what my mission was, I was able to connect so much more strongly to it. And that would soon outweigh any negativity that tried to get in my way every single day. Because it is there every day. But I learned how to fight that out every single day. So I want you to ask yourself, this was actually in a Jim Carrey, his commencement speech. I love it. But he talked about finding what he called his ministry. And I compared it to coaching. Like as a coach, we each have our ministry. It's what our mission is as a coach. What is it that you want to bring to people? What is it that you're putting out there on social media? And so he had you ask these questions. What am I going to give to the world? What do they deserve that only I can give them? What is your mission as a coach? What do you truly want to bring to people? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, the effect that you have on others is the most important thing. Forget all the hows. Forget all the buts, all the details of, I don't know how this is going to work. I want to see, sometimes you want to see the whole plan of how it's going to work. Forget all of that. What is your gift to the world? And just sink into that. Like, go live that with enthusiasm on social media. Like, what your purpose is, what you want a person to get from you. Like, just, like, spew that out everywhere with enthusiasm. And forget all the distractions. Like, there's little distractions along the way of, I didn't, advance this week, or I didn't hit my goal. Like, that doesn't matter. Like, sink in to what matters most, and that's what's in your heart. That's your passion. It's your story. It's what you want people to experience. The same change, basically, that you have had. And when I was listening to that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, we get to do this every single day. We get to live a purpose. Like, we get to share something that can change someone's life every single day. Like, we get to free people. That's what my ministry is as a coach. I want people to have freedom from insecurity and from doubt and from not feeling like they matter. I want people to be free of that. And so that's what I live in. That's where my passion is. And that's what I want my story to be clear on, is that they can have the same freedom that I have had. At the same time, I feel like we also need to make sure to free ourselves. Be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't put so much pressure on yourself that this isn't fun anymore. Live your passion, because every day your head is going to try and tell you a story. It just will. You hear those negative thoughts every day. Like if you're working out, it's like, just stop. You're tired. It's okay if you push stop. Nobody's going to know. Like those thoughts, just kick those out. Obstacles do not have to stop you. I love this quote, if you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb that wall, go through it, work around it, but don't you dare ever change your decision to get there, to get over the wall and where you want to go. Do not ever stop deciding to get there. A wise man once said, speed propels the vitality of life. Attitude controls it. Momentum maintains it. Patience protects it. Leadership guides it. And entelechy unleashes it. And I had no idea what entelechy meant, but it's your belief in yourself. That's what unleashes your mission. That's what unleashes your power, is your belief in yourself. And that is my main thing, that is what has allowed me to learn how to let obstacles empower me, is my belief in myself. So the one thing that has lifted me up to embrace obstacles, to refuse to let them knock me down, is my belief in who I am and in my mission. I will never let anything get in the way of that anymore, because I have before, and it is not fun. I would rather face the pain of change and of growing than the pain of staying knocked down and not living the life I want to live. The only thing that has kept me down for the 28 years until I changed was me. It was my lack of belief in me. So how did I overcome that? It was a daily grind. It was a daily process. But I learned to speak truth to myself. And when you speak that consistently and enough, it fills you up so there is no room for any negativity inside of you. You would laugh if you walked into my house, but I have sticky notes everywhere. They're on my bathroom mirror. They're on the dashboard in my car. They're on my computer screen. But I have those positive affirmations everywhere. And if I really start getting knocked down by something, I just speak them to myself. I remind myself who I am. I remind myself why I'm here. I remind myself of my purpose. And you do that enough, it truly becomes your belief system. You can change that. Our brains are like a circuit switch. Once you believe you are something, you actually embody that feeling. You take that on. So what if you woke up one day and you had zero memory? You couldn't remember your failures. You couldn't remember your mistakes. Anything about your history. It was wiped, gone. You had no idea who you were. And this person tells you that you used to be a Navy SEAL and you are in high demand right now to come back because you were the best at what you did. Do you think that you would act differently if that was all you knew of yourself? You didn't know anything except that you were the best Navy SEAL in the world and that people were fighting to have you. Would you hold yourself differently? Would you have a different self-concept of who you are? Being successful in life is all about having a proper belief system in who you are. Truly believing that you are something unique, that you bring something special to the world as a coach. If you truly believe deep inside of you that you are one of the best, that you are a top coach, that you do change lives every single day, and that those you speak with are lucky to be on your team or in your challenge group. If you truly believe that, then you will be different. The way you approach life will be different. The way you handle obstacles will be different. So you'll be more real, more relatable, and more passionate when you talk to people. Our brain is simply a circuit. So if we introduce it with the proper wiring, you'll go straight to your target. You really can. But if you doubt, if you start letting that doubt creep in, if you don't feed that belief system, and if you start speaking negatively again, it's not going to happen. So be patient is my best advice. It's not an overnight thing. You got to be patient. You give your gift time to develop. So when you find what your uniqueness is as a coach, what your mission is, give that time to develop and to grow and mature. Every success starts with a seed. So you're going to plant this belief system. You're going to water it. You're going to give it light. And when you're patient day after day, it's going to keep growing. And that belief system will get more powerful and more powerful by the day. Stop rushing things that aren't meant to be rushed. Enjoy the process. Soak it up. Fall in love with your life and every part of the process, because it can be gone in an instant. I I learned that when I went through the surgery I went through with Camden. I knew that when I was wheeled back, I might not come back. And what I kept thinking of was, did I enjoy the process? Did I let things get in the way and become stressful, or did I truly love every moment and enjoy every obstacle and enjoy every failure and mistake? Because that does make life beautiful if you have that perspective. Fall in love with who you are and who God created you to be. You have a divinity within you, and you were sent here to succeed. You truly were. We were all sent here to have success and to have all of our dreams come true. You can dream as big as you want. There's nothing wrong with that. You were meant to do that, and you have everything inside of you to make that happen. So believe that not only you can do it, but that you are not alone in making it happen. Every part of your journey happens for a reason. Every single part, and they are there to refine you into something greater than you can imagine. Love the pain, love the process, and be so connected to your mission and to your dreams that you fight for them and you never give up. And when you're running uphill and you feel like you're not going anywhere, think back and run even harder, because that view from the top is so worth it. Never give up. There's no magic potion to this. It's just the daily things that make you stronger. I've immersed myself in growing myself like no other. Like, it's all day now, because I know that that's what I deserve, to feel positive and to feel fearless and to know that I'm fighting for everything that I want. And as you do that, I promise you will become unbreakable.
Mindy, it's amazing. I don't know if I'm cutting you off at all.
No.
I love your story because you have proven that you don't have to have this straight shot to success and have everything fall perfectly in alignment exactly when you want it to happen to be able to reach your goals. Because I know when you came to my house and we sat down at my kitchen table, you shared with me some big goals, or just thought, you know, what's that big, amazing dream that if something could happen, you know, what would that be? And I remember you sharing with me some goals, and I've seen those happen. You know,
Yes.
For you, you've overcome so many obstacles and let them empower you. And what has been the result? What has Beachbody done for you guys in this result in your life?
Oh my gosh. I laugh sometimes when I talk to people that are interested in coaching, because I'm like, as cheesy as it sounds, this literally has changed every part of our life. It really has. And I didn't believe it could at first. I wasn't one that jumped in and I'm like, yeah, I got this. I'm going to be a diamond coach in 30 days. Like, it wasn't. I was pretty, I wanted it to happen, but I didn't believe it could happen until like probably 3-4 months in. But as I let the process really change me, and as I was open to doing things differently, as I was open to being, you know, teachable, like I knew if I did whatever you told me to do, I would be fine and I'd be successful. And I think just humbling myself and letting that happen really let our lives change in so many ways. You know,
So how has your life changed?
Yeah. So Chris and I have, like, physically, Chris and I together have lost over 100 pounds. That was fantastic. But
Amazing.
we were, I mean, there's so many things. Chris, I was able to get my husband the best therapy in the world that has absolutely changed his life. Like, he's been to therapist after therapist, taken medication, wasn't working. Thanks to Beachbody, we got him to some therapy that he meets with a guy in New York City and meets with him once a week on Skype calls. And that has absolutely changed his life. I mean, it's a miracle. I mean, that's amazing. We've been able to meet people from all over. Like, I have this team that I absolutely love more than anything, and they're my best friends. And, you know, that's my team, but I love your team. And, like, I have this family that I never had before, this massive group of girls, no less. I mean, girls should be dramatic, right? But, like, we're not. And it's just this amazing support system. And we are debt-free. We don't have any debt except for cars, and we're renting a house right now while we figure out where we really want to live our dream. Chris is retired from a job that he had no passion for, and instead of being gone for 13 hours a day now, he's home and getting to chase his dreams. And I feel like as you let yourself go through the process and you let the pain happen and you embrace it and you really allow this to mold you and not fight it, it's going to happen. And just enjoy the process and really fight for what you want. Don't let the doubts creep in. Like, you can have what you want if you're willing to really work for it.
It's amazing. Excuse me. A frog hit my throat right when I went to speak, but it's an incredible story, Mindy, and I'm so inspired by you and seeing you guys live your dream and, leave Vegas to move up to Utah, have Chris leave his job, just all of these things. It's incredible, and it's incredibly inspiring, especially from my end as I've seen the journey that you've been on, and I know that it hasn't, just been a thing that fell into your lap, but you worked for it and you overcame obstacles. And so I love everything that you said and all of your inspiring words. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Getting on this